Hi, my name is Barry Sterling Mitchell. I produce the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings and the Bias Plus Reports.
What's going on out there, everybody? This is Ben Dickerson. I am your co-host. We are almost exactly 1 week away from the first game of the 2025 season for the NFL. I cannot wait. The only thing that's keeping me going and keeping my mind off of the big anticipation of the season starting is the fact that all my money leagues, all my money fantasy leagues, all the drafts are this week. We are exactly 1 week away from the beginning of the season with the first game of the season next Thursday night. I do not have a draft tonight. It was moved, but I drafted Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I have another one, a live in-person draft tomorrow, Friday night. Food and drink will be there. Then Saturday, I can be off and prepare for my last two. Got another online draft Sunday. And then my last one, Wednesday of next week, the night before the season begins. That's my big league. That's the big money league. So I am super excited. I've got several free leagues drafts already completed. So I was able to feel out kind of how people think. And the money leagues, of course, I know all those guys. So I kind of know how they think and how they draft. So I prepare my strategies mostly on how I feel about players, but a lot of times how I feel about certain players and where they need to be drafted kind of depends on how I know some of these other guys think and the kinds of things that they like to do. Some guys like to draft quarterbacks early. Some guys like to wait for quarterbacks late. Some guys like to lead off, get a bunch of stud wide receivers first before they take their first running back, so on and so forth. So knowing how they do helps me prepare and get my thing done. But I digress. Today,
That's a good
I want to
digression,
talk.
Benny. Before you go further, let me just say,
Yes,
as you were saying that, and I'm reminded that we just did the brain trust for the NFL,
yes,
and you're talking on a GM level.
that's correct.
And when I think about, especially with fantasy, I think about it's all about, the players and the players, who's going to be there, who's not, and blah, 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 who's going to get the opportunity. But you mentioned something, and I'm sure the GMs around the league probably play that same game to some degree. Like, I know he likes this, or he
Absolutely.
kind of goes this way. So they're playing their game at that level at the same time. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's funny. I was talking to our buddy Lawrence, and he was asking me about because he's a Madden guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lawrence is a Madden guy. He doesn't know a lot about fantasy, so he was asking me, and I said it's funny that they call fantasy when it's actually much more realistic than you controlling the players. It should be the other way around. Madden should be called fantasy. And fantasy football is the closest thing to real football being a real GM that you could possibly have. So, yes, it's exactly the same. And when you draft players, it's exactly the same. You just don't, you have to take into consideration that these players already belong to a team in real life. But when you draft them, they belong to you. And their production is what you win or lose games on. Their real life, I'm watching red zone production. They're doing great. You're cheering for them. They're helping you win games. They're crapping it up. They're helping you lose games. It's all real. Nothing made up.
Well, you and I have debated this point numerous times, and poor Lawrence it does not have the experience of dealing with you to even deal with that issue.
Well, he had no argument.
Man, yeah, of course he doesn't. He's not used to arguing with you about that. He probably thinking to himself, that probably makes sense. But
Uh,
I don't.
okay.
But you know that already, so I'm not going to rehash that argument. We can probably go back to a number of our previous videos and see that argument. But we are at the point where you guys, where my wife actually was. Our nephew said to my wife, he's forming a league for people who really don't play fantasy, and he wanted to know if my wife wanted to be in it. She said no. She didn't say no right away, but I asked her the other night there. I was like, no, because I'm saying, well, there's something you might want to watch if you're going to play the fantasy game. She's like, I ain't playing. Like, okay,
It ain't that hard.
Well, but it does require a certain amount of attention, and she's.
Yeah.
But anyway, this show is going to be dominated by one Mr. Ben Dickerson. Tell us what you're going to do on this show, Benny.
Well, what I'm going to do is something that I believe I did the previous 2 years. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my list from the year before, and that is I'm going to try to prognosticate each division, AFC conference and NFC conference, division winners and losers, and those guys in between. And I'm going to try to decide who I think or how I think they're going to finish up by the end of the regular season. And if I feel good about it by the time I get there, because I haven't given this one thing a whole lot of thought, that is, I'm going to try to pick the 2 teams in the NFC and the 2 teams in the AFC that I believe will match up in the conference championships. I haven't given that any thought at all. But as I go through this, I'm going to let it formulate in my mind. And when I'm finished, I'll give them to you. Okay? And I'm going to try to hold on to this stuff. And we're going to try to make sure we keep this video so we can go back and double check myself. Because I think when I did it in 23, I did pretty well. I wasn't perfect, obviously, but I did pretty well. And I do have the regular season finish in front of me here from the 2024 season. Not what I picked, but what actually happened. So I may refer to that from time to time. As a point of conjecture, let me throw this in. As I go division by division, I'm also going to let everybody know what cross-conference division that division will play. Obviously, you play everybody in division twice. Obviously, you play mostly, if you're in the NFC, you play mostly NFC teams, and you will play a couple of AFC teams, but you will also play one entire AFC division. Same thing with the AFC. Every division plays a different NFC division in full, and plus, another team from that conference here and there, but the entire division. So, for instance, I'm going to start with the AFC, and I'm going to start with the AFC East. And the AFC East this year plays the NFC South. Okay? So some people will say, well, the NFC South, we got the Bucks, we got the Panthers, we got the Saints, and we got the Falcons.
Falcons.
That's not such a tough division, you would think. So the AFC East kind of has it good as far as their cross NFC division is concerned. So I'll take that into consideration when I do this. But anyway, let me get started, okay? So AFC East. This one's not too tough if you ask me. Most people should probably agree with me. I believe the Buffalo Bills will end up winning this division and be in first place and win the division at the end of the regular season. Here's where I might throw a few folks off. In second place in the East of the AFC, I have the New England Patriots. I believe the Patriots will be better than the Jets, mainly because Drake May, I'm very impressed with, and Justin Fields, although I love him and I'm wishing the best for him, I don't think he's developed enough to carry the Jets. They got a lot of talent, but they're also deficient in some areas, enough areas where if the quarterback can't lift that offense, it's not going to do as well. The division loser, unfortunately for you Miami fans, in my opinion, will be the Dolphins. A lot of confusion over there. Tua, injury risk at all times. I must say, when he is healthy, he usually plays well, and they usually win. But I can't bank on that. Okay. So, and there's some issues with Tyreek Hill too, on the field and off the field that just bother me. So AFC West, I have Buffalo, New England, New York Jets, and the Miami Dolphins in that order. The AFC West, this is going to be a tough division. Not only is it a tough division team-wise, But we already talked about the coaches in this division and how tough that is. On top of all that, the AFC West has to play the NFC East. Ooh, interesting. Okay. But anyway, in first place, finishing in first place in the AFC West is not the Kansas City Chiefs. I have the Denver Broncos winning the AFC West. I have the Chiefs coming in second. I have the Chargers coming in behind them, and the Raiders last. The Raiders got a little ways to go. I think they will be better. I think they're going to be better coached. They got a better quarterback. They basically had no quarterback last year, okay, but they still got work to do on defense. And the receiver core, it doesn't really, it doesn't scare anybody. They just signed back Amari Cooper, who's kind of on the back nine of his career. So, I can't say too much good about the Raiders. But I like the Denver Broncos to win the AFC West. When we talk about those coaches, by the way, obviously everybody loves Andy Reid. Everybody knows what an offensive genius Andy Reid is. But guess who else is an offensive genius? Sean Payton. And guess who else has a young up-and-coming quarterback? Bo Nix. That's the Denver Broncos. I'm picking them to win the AFC West. In the AFC North, plays the NFC North. Again, cross-conference games are going to be tough for these guys. But in the AFC North, I have the Ravens winning it. No surprise there. But this one is the one I feel least good about. If I'm saying that right, least good. The least good about, because the Bengals still scare me. I know people say, oh, that defense, they can't stop anybody. They're going to score 35 points and they're going to lose 38-35. That could happen, but they still scare me. But I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens to win the AFC North. I got the Bengals second. I got the Steelers coming in from behind, and I got the Browns coming in last. This Browns quarterback situation's really got me. I'm really sick of it, to tell you the truth. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Joe Flacco still got enough juice to get anything done here. And if he doesn't, I feel pretty good that Dylan Gabriel is not going to be able to get the job done, which means it would be left on Shador. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to get much done either. I just don't see the Browns having a successful season. I just don't. I'm sorry. But yeah, Baltimore Ravens first, followed up by.
But what I just read, there's a potential that Deshaun Watson is going to come back to the team and say, I'm ready to play.
And guess what? That makes it even worse. That doesn't make it better. That makes it worse. When I thought about that when they let Kenny Pickett go. I said, they're making room. Because I knew they were going to let Snoop Hundley go. But when Pickett got let go, because they were saying, they'll keep 4. When they dropped Pickett, I said, they're making room for Deshaun. Because they've already shown, I've already seen video of him working out.
Really?
Yeah, so he's expecting to come back somewhere along the line. I don't think anything's been projected yet as far as when he'll be ready to go. But I think before the season's over, he'll be ready to go. And then they're going to have to decide what they're going to do. That's a lot of decision making for the Cleveland Browns, a team that doesn't make good decisions anyway. Last but not least, we have the AFC South. Again, tough cross-conference games against the NFC West. That's the Niners, your team and them boys, okay? But in the AFC South, I think the Houston Texans will prevail. I believe C.J. Stroud has gotten through his sophomore jinx, and he's coming back with a vengeance this year. I think C.J. is going to be really good. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars to come in second with their new head coach, Liam Cohn, the guy that looks like a cartoon character but runs a really nice offense, as he did for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. So I like the Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence is picking up on that system pretty well. So if he's able to master it, that's going to do wonders for their offense. Now, the team that comes in third and the team that comes in last, we're talking about the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. I'm not 100% here, but I'm going to make a decision. And I'm going to make a decision and say that the Titans will bring up the rear and the Colts will finish third in the division. The reason I'm saying that is I like Shane Steichen and I like Daniel Jones better than I like Cam Ward and the coaching staff for the Titans. Plus, they've already got one running back down and one running back with 1 foot on a banana peel. So they're not in great shape.
Jones, eh?
Well, I don't like Cam Ward.
Jones, eh?
I like Daniel Jones, but he was in a competition for the first time and he won it. And he won it against a number 1 pick, against a first round pick. The future Cam Newton or the next Cam Newton, he beat him out in a fair competition.
A seriously faulty first round pick.
Well, I mean, don't get me started. Don't get me started on faulty first round picks.
Would you have picked him in the first round?
I might have.
No, you wouldn't have. Don't even try it. With his level of playing time in the NCAA versus your
I just brought that to your attention last week. Stop it. I don't remember you saying that before that draft. You didn't say that before that draft. What? You did not say that before that draft.
What, that he shouldn't have
been you drafted? Defended the heck out of Trey Lance for the same reason.
No, what I said to you about Trey Lance was let's not go there. The bottom line is, I believe that
he has all the immeasurables. All the measurables.
You said that last week. You said he's got all the no doubt about it. You know, he's got all the measurables.
Right, but injuries set him back really bad.
Well,
okay, he wasn't able to accumulate any experience because of injuries. Now, let's face it, we've seen first rounders have to play and struggle. And then you see the light come on like week 14 or something. And you go, oh, okay, maybe, yeah. He never had a chance to do that because of injuries. So we still don't know. Jury's still out on him. But he's healthy now. It was a fair competition. And Daniel Jones beat him out. Plain and simple. Now, people might say, well, that shines a bad light on Anthony Richardson. But, you know, I don't want to get into that either with Daniel Jones. Everybody says he's garbage, okay? But he's not garbage. He's not. He's an NFL quarterback, and he won games. So we'll wait and see. But I think the Colts are going to be at least better than the Titans, if nobody else. So we'll just leave it there. Now, moving over to the NFC. Let's talk about the NFC East first. They play the AFC West. This year in the NFC East, we're going to see something we haven't seen probably since, I could be wrong, but probably since like at least the 90s or something. And that is a repeat winner of this division. And I expect that repeat winner to be the Philadelphia Eagles. After that, it gets interesting. I really think, and obviously we live in Philadelphia, so you don't hear anything positive about the Dallas Cowboys. I, for one, think the Cowboys' offense at least is going to surprise some people. But defensively, they're going to be very challenged. They were already challenged, and they've already sustained a couple of injuries that's going to make them even more challenged. So I'm going to drop the Cowboys down to the bottom. So if I had the Cowboys on the bottom, yeah, I'm a Giants fan, but I really, truly believe that because the Giants defense is looking really, really good this year, they keep them in enough games that they're going to pull off enough wins to come in third in the division. And then second behind the Eagles, I have the Washington Commanders. The only thing that can stop the Commanders is if Jaden Daniels has a sophomore jinx too. And it doesn't always happen. It's not like it's an automatic thing. But if he can play as well as he did last year, the Eagles are going to be hard-pressed to win this division. I believe they still will, but everybody else is going to have a lot of trouble with the Commanders. So Philadelphia, Washington, New York, Dallas bringing up the rear. After that, we go over to the NFC West. The NFC West, oh boy, they got it pretty good here. They're playing the AFC South, which isn't looking great. That's good for them. What's bad for them or bad for one of their teams is the team that's bringing up the rear. It's going to be the Cardinals again. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't get with the Cardinals. Their best running back is getting aged. The backup that they got for him has hardly played. This is like his third season. He barely gets on the field. If he's not injured, he's just not good enough. Kyler Murray, yeah, he's going to have numbers. I wouldn't be mad if I had him on my fantasy team. He'll get numbers, but winning games is going to be a struggle for the Cardinals. I just don't see them doing well. I do believe, and you know I like your team. I talk about the Niners all the time. I love the players on the Niners. I've been riding McCaffrey, even with his injured self. He's still done enough for me when he's on the field that I won a couple fantasy chips, but not this year, my brother. I got the LA Rams and bad back Matt Stafford coming in first in the NFC West. They were basically one play away from having a golden opportunity to beat the Eagles in the playoffs last year. It was their own fault, true, but they didn't get completely outplayed. The Rams are going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out for everybody, and they got it pretty good when they play cross conference because the AFC South isn't going to have much to offer. I like the Rams first, Niners second. I like the Seahawks with their new head coach and their new quarterback, Sam Darnold, to come in third and battle the Niners for second. I like to be decisive in these things. I won't say if this, if that, okay? I got the Niners over the Seahawks, but it's going to be tough. And if those two teams are flipped second and third, I would not be surprised. Mainly because I don't see much improvement in the Niners defense, but I see a lot of improvement in the Seahawks defense, believe it or not, crazy as that may sound. Offensively, they're pretty close considering that Ayuk is still hurt. And now Juwan Jennings is hurt. There's no telling. If they put him on IR, he won't be ready till after game 4. It's kind of all going to fall on Kittle and Ricky Pearsall. But they do have a healthy Christian McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's going to keep them afloat. And they may challenge the Rams. I don't want to completely give it up to the Rams, but I just think the Rams overall are a better team. Moving on to the NFC North. Tough NFC North. And they're playing the tough AFC North. Now, I'm telling you, when the Lions, Packers, Vikings, and Bears come on television, tune in and watch them games. There's a lot of quality teams right there in the same division. But with the most dynamic offense and a finally healthy defense, I got to go with the Detroit Lions to win the NFC North. Got to go with the Detroit Lions. Backing them up, coming right in behind them in second, and a close second, Jordan Love shows off this year and brings the Packers back up where they belong. They'll be a playoff team. They'll come in second in division. They'll have a nice record, and they're going to challenge once they get in the playoffs. They're going to be a tough out also. I like the Vikings. I like the team as a whole. You got to love Justin Jefferson, and you got to love Brian Flores' defense. But we're talking about a team that's going to start basically a rookie quarterback. J.J. McCarthy got hurt in the preseason last season and is just now gotten himself ready to take over as a starter. They let Sam Darnold go, and they put all their chips into J.J. McCarthy's basket. And if it doesn't work out, who they got to go to?
Who?
You just told me. Carson Wentz.
Oh, that's right.
But I think B-Flow and that defense is going to keep them in enough games that they can still win them. I'm picking the Vikings to come in third. And in fourth place, Caleb Williams. Bro, let me tell you something, man. I'm watching preseason games, and Caleb Williams is making mistake after mistake after mistake. And then they cut the camera over to the head coach, and he's like, That's not good. That's not good. Now, I know he's feeling some kind of way because he took this job and he's making all this money and he's a head coach now, which every coach that gets into the NFL strives to one day become at least a coordinator, but yeah, a head coach. And all the success he had with Detroit and how well they picked up his offense, and he had all the perfect personnel for all the perfect places to play different positions in his offense. And now he's calling plays for the Bears, and it's just my heart goes out to Ben Johnson. It really does. But I think he'll get it together, just not this year. Okay, Bears coming last. Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago. Last but not least, we have the NFC South. They will play the AFC East. Not so tough, but we'll see. Well, it'll be tough for three of the teams, but not for the team I'm picking to win the division. NFC South goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are going to be sneaky good this year. Sneaky good. Once the playoffs start, remember I said sneaky good, okay? They can pull off some upsets. I would not be surprised if they challenge for a spot in the conference championship. Baker Mayfield's been on fire lately. Mike Evans still looks like he's in his 20s. Godwin will be back before the season's over, but the Ohio State rookie they got, Emeka Egbuka, is a nice receiver. Bucky Irving, top flight running back, being picked at least in the second round in fantasy. People are really catching on to Bucky Irving, and the defense always playing at Tampa 2 is going to be tight. So yeah, NFC South, I got the Bucks, the Falcons. Bijan is not Bijan, it's Bijan Robinson is their running back. And then I have the Panthers. Bryce Young, going to be much improved this year. He heard you talking about him.
Yeah.
He's going to show you a little something this year. I don't think they'll challenge the Falcons to come in second. They're nowhere near as good as the Buccaneers. They could possibly challenge the Falcons, but I don't think so. I think Penix is already even or above Bryce Young, who already has a year above him in experience. And the Saints are going to be a mess. The Saints are probably going to tank for Arch Manning. But anyway, that's it. Now, real quick, right off the top of my head, in the AFC Championship this season, I have the Ravens and the Bills. If it works out that way, it may not work out that way. They may have to play each other before to get there. I don't know. But I think they're the top two teams in the conference. And in the NFC, I have the Lions and the Eagles. Again, I think they're the two top teams. They may have to play each other in order to get to the conference championship. I don't know. We have to see how that works out. If that happens, though, I'm going to tell you this. If that happens, I got the Lions beating the Eagles. Now, call me up, make comments on here. Please say something. Talk to me. Argue with me. Let me know, gang. You heard it here from me. If the Lions have to play the Eagles to get to the conference championship or play the Eagles in the conference championship, I'm picking the Lions right now. You want to bet? Hit me up. Let me know. That's it. I'm done.
Done, eh? Oh, one question in that NFC South.
Yes.
Starting for the Falcons.
In the NFC South, I had the Falcons second.
Who do you have starting at quarterback?
Michael Penix.
Oh, okay. So I'm waiting because you said first game. You weren't going to qualify my assertion that Cousins was going to be the most highly paid backup in the NFL until game day, and if he don't start, then you were going to qualify it as
Yeah, I said if he's still on the team
Hmm.
when they come out the tunnel. Yeah, Penix. I believe Penix has already been named the starter. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah.
So if Kirk Cousins is still on the team when the team comes out of the tunnel to get ready to play their first game, then yes, you are correct. But that's factual. I can't.
So you said you were going to do the NFC champions, oh, excuse me, the conference champions,
Yes.
but you're not going to call the Super Bowl yet, right?
No.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Yeah. The playoff situation. I can't go through all those numbers. If this happens, if that happens, that's a little bit too much for me. Once we get to the conference championship, I have no problem. I'll let you know who's going to win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, next Thursday, we'll kick off the season. So we'll have a show on next Thursday. I'm going to have a surprise
Next Wednesday.
approach. Next
You gonna
Wednesday?
do it Wednesday?
Yeah, we have to go on Wednesday
Right.
because I got to get it out before Thursday. I have a surprise methodology for the first games of the season. Normally I use early net point power rankings and the bias plus reports, but there's no rankings since there's no points first game. But I have a surprise on the way that I am going to provide some level of a bias.
Okay.
The bottom line is you still get to give your opinion on that. So,
Right.
all right, good, Ben. Well, good wrap up on that. Lions, Eagles, Bills, and Ravens, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So that'll be 2 straight years. And we keep this up. Kelsey's never going to be able to retire, man.
Oh, no. That's why he's getting married. He has to have some success.
You said he couldn't go out like what happened last year, so he could.
Yeah, well, last year was bad. I
Yeah,
had him in fantasy last year on my main. He was horrible.
was he? Yeah.
The year before that, he was a stud. I played him every week. He
Wow.
never didn't start for me except for his bye week. That was it.
Wow.
Last year, bro, I had to bench him.
Had the bench.
He wasn't getting it done. Come on, man. 3 catches a game? Stop.
That ain't gonna get it in fantasy, right?
It ain't gonna get it.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. Well, great piece there, man. And we're gonna look forward to it again. Remind everybody that this is Ben and Barry on football. To click the notification bell and the subscribe button and leave some comments and let Benny know how you feel about his prognostications, as he said. Gonna have that. All right, Benny. Well, let's jump on over to our social media page, do a quick run through, and that will be it. All right, let's start out. We talked a little bit about this. Ranking every team's QB2. Starting out with number 1, Kirk Cousins. Yay! 2, Jackson Dart. 3, Jimmy. I'm not going to go all through all 32. Garoppolo is 3. Mariota for the Commanders is 4. And Jake Browning for the Bengals is 5. Well, I got to go down to my team. So Anthony Richardson is going to be backing up for the Colts. And Mac Jones, mac and cheese for my Niners, is the backup. And, as I see this new crew of quarterbacks coming in, some of these guys are going to have to drop out. They're going to have to, because some of these guys coming in are going to be good. What do you think about this particular listing?
Let me pick and choose here a little bit. So I have no problem with Kirk Cousins being the number 1 backup in the league. Obviously, this guy's been a starter his entire career. The only time he was a backup was when he backed up
E3.
Robert Griffin. Bobby Griffin. Yeah, Bobby
Who
Griffin.
just got a new job on Fox.
Whoopee. He won't be there long if he has another bad take like some of them last ones he had.
Listen to you. Okay.
He needs to stick to football and leave the WNBA alone.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he needs to leave that alone. But yeah, Kirk Cousins is number one backup. No problem. He's only an off season away from being a starter. Um, Knows the offense. Is proven he can get the job done. So I have no problem with that. Jackson Dart being number two, that's a little crazy for me, but I got to go with it because guess what? The way I see it, unless Russell Wilson is really tearing it up, and I think Russell's going to be fine. I think he's going to mesh with Brian Daboll's offense way better than he did with the Steelers' offense. So you're going to see what's going to look like a resurgence for Russell Wilson. But if they're not winning games and it gets around mid-season or so, they may pull the trigger on Jackson Dart and get him in there. I think that's why they have him so high. Number three, Jimmy Garoppolo, is only because the Rams team is already so good. Other than that, Jimmy Garoppolo, as far as I'm concerned, probably shouldn't even still be playing. That guy's brittle. He's as brittle as a piece of glass. Marcus Mariota, bro, talk about 1 foot hanging off the edge of a cliff and 1 foot of banana peel. That's Marcus Mariota. Jake Browning showed pretty well. I like Jake Browning. Anthony Richardson, by default, if Daniel Jones falters, they bring in Anthony Richardson. They can't do no worse, is how they probably see it. But they had to make a decision, and that was that. Mac and Cheese should not be this high. He should be lower. He's not. If Purdy goes down, y'all in trouble. I'll just put it that way. Andy Dalton, although he's already proven he's a pretty good backup, he ain't that daggone good. Sam Howell is better than Andy Dalton. Sam Howell's also better than Drew Lock. Cooper Rush is better than Andy Dalton. I'm just going down the list. Joe Milton still hasn't gotten control of his passes. He throws the ball like he's trying to throw it through a brick wall all the time. So he's got a ways to go. Taylor Heineke is a proven guy. He'll do well for the Chargers. Brissett's just been around experience-wise. He could take over for Kyler Murray. I don't know if they'll win any more games or not, but he's a decent backup. Malik Willis has shown himself pretty well for the Packers. That team fits him. The Titans did not fit in, but the Packers do fit him. I like Malik Willis as a backup for Jordan Love. I really do. Tyrod Taylor's just hanging in there, waiting for Justin Fields to throw enough interceptions where they can't stand it no more, and he'll be right back in there. Aiden O'Connell, come on, bro. Gardner Minshew, come on, bro. And he's, oh, God. He's with the Chiefs now. Chiefs fans better be on their knees every night of the season, hoping nothing happens to Mahomes. Because if Gardner Minshew has to take over, they're in big, big trouble. Hendon Hooker, too young. Tanner McKee should be way higher on this list. Tanner McKee should be way up on this list. He's a good quarterback. Talk about measurables. This kid's 6'6", and he's accurate. Can see the field and sees it well. Post-snap, pre-snap, and post-snap. He's been coached well, and it shows. Tam McKee's going to be a starter in this league one of these days, soon, for somebody. Tyson Badgett, also, for the Bears, looked better than Caleb Williams. I know it's preseason games. They don't really count. I know he's going against, backups on defense. Doesn't really count. But doggone it, this guy looked decent. Kenny Pickett, I think, sucks. Zach Wilson sucks. Mason Rudolph sucks badly. Jared Stidham, I don't even want to go down the rest of this list. As I glance down and I see Tyler Shook, Brandon Allen, and Mitchell Trubisky, there's nothing left to talk about.
Absolutely, absolutely. But this will, I'll have to keep this list in mind when I go back and look at the money because it'll be interesting because, I like to see how much money these guys have made as they now have what we call the best job in the NFL, backup quarterback. All right, Benny, let's see here. I put this one here because I did not know that the NCAA had updated their helmet communication rules to match the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was good to, some good information here for us real football knuckleheads to be able to know what's going on with the helmet and how that all works on both the collegiate and the NFL level. So that's why we added that on here. When you talked about who's coming in second, I'm sure you calculated in the fact that Scary Terry is now signed, sealed, and ready to go.
Yeah, I was never really worried about this. I just thought they was kind of doing him dirty, making him wait. But I had no doubt they'd get him signed.
I'm wondering if some of these teams just go, we'll just wait until the day before cut down day and see, what all happens, and then we'll sign them then. It's like we shouldn't even been talking about it because you're like, they're not going to do anything to cut down in the day anyway. So it just seems that way to me because everybody signed except for Dallas,
Well, it's funny because we don't really know the inner workings. We only know what we read in the press and hear on the radio and stuff like that. Okay. If they're actually negotiating like every day, every other day, the agent and the owner or the agent and the GM are going back and forth and they're saying this much, this, we'll concede this, we'll take less guaranteed money, blah, 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 blah. I can understand if it takes a while. But when they go a week without talking, and then somebody comes in and says, you know what? The guaranteed money's not enough. Unless you give us more, we are not signing this contract. And then they sit another week and they don't talk. And then they come back and say, we'll give you more guaranteed money, but not that much. We'll give you this much. And then they go another week and they don't talk. I think that's what really draws these things out.
Okay.
It's not like hard negotiation. We're going to sit in the room till we get this done. It ain't like that. Same thing happened to Troy Hendrickson with the Bengals. So
we have, you mentioned Amari Cooper returning to the Raiders. We already talked about that a little bit. Here's your highest paid edge rushers.
Yeah, Hendrickson got done dirty too.
Yeah, oh man, look.
They did him dirty, man.
The Bengals being cheap. Congratulations to Travis Hunter for getting married, right? I think he got married, and then Tyreek got fleeced, which is his own damn fault, as they say.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nobody's fault but his own.
Own damn fault. This was an interesting thing. I know you and I were talking about this last season, and you were saying you never got cut, so you really don't know what that's like. Acho knows what it's like. Mitchell knows what it's like. We all know what it's like. But by the same token, some guys don't get cut. And they get a chance to come in and talk to the GM and get told you're on the 53-man roster. I just think that's a great thing. I love these happy stories here. And 6 of Coach Prime's players at Colorado have made initial 53-man rosters. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment.
That's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And this guy here in the picture, Jimmy Horn Jr., keep an eye on him. He's going to make some noise.
I felt a little sorry for Shiloh. I thought he was going to make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He has nobody to blame but himself.
Why? Because of the fight?
It wasn't just that. I saw tape from the whole game. He had a face mask penalty. He missed tackles. He got passes caught on him that he should have had a chance to break up. And then the fight, which wasn't a fight. The guy was mauling him.
Yeah.
And he swung on him. You cannot throw a punch. What is it that they don't understand? You do not throw a punch. I don't care what the other guy does to you. You throw a punch, It's all on you.
Okay. All right. All right. Uh, the game is out. Madden 26. I am in possession, and I've already started working a little bit. So one thing I realized, this is the second, third year in a row. I do not like, now, I play with my Niners, right? But I do not like our playbook. So I always want to play in somebody else's play. I've already ditched it and moved on. But yeah, it's out. So all of those people are ready to go. And Benny, what happened? The tush push Terminator got terminated.
He didn't lose enough weight.
How much weight did they expect that boy to lose?
I don't know what the exact number is, but he knows. They
Do you
gave
think
him a number and he didn't get down to it.
lose that weight within that time frame?
He didn't get it done. So consequently, he never practiced.
Yeah, I know.
So they can't keep him. That's a spot that they can get a special teamer or somebody in there. You got to let him go. He never practiced.
All right.
He didn't put pads on the entire training camp.
That's true. That is true, for sure. And then we have this story here about the gentleman who went a 0-star recruit, small college, no combine invite, no senior bowl, and got picked up as an undrafted free agent for the Eagles. Wow. That's the story that we all like, isn't it?
0-star recruit. Tarleton State. I don't even know where Tarleton State is. But yeah, that's good. That's great.
And Kyle Hamilton is now the highest paid safety in NFL history.
Well deserved.
He's awesome. And that's all I got, Benny. Oh, I'll mention this. When we said I did have a comment about your Giants.
Yes.
And I watched one of the games, and when they pulled Russell, you see what happened. Something happened, and they put Jameis in. And Jameis came in on his first throw, threw a bomb, touchdown. Bang! I was like, uh-oh, it's Jameis. And then it seemed like after that, every pass he threw was a long bomb. It's like he wasn't even looking at the short passes anymore. He was just going for it. And I thought to myself, oh, there's Jameis. That's what I kind of expect. I actually wondered whether Tommy DeVito should have beaten out Jameis, and they should have let Jameis go and maybe got some additional booty for him, draft picks or something else, and kept Tommy DeVito, who seemed like he had a pretty decent preseason. So what do you think about that?
Did Jameis complete any of those long passes?
The first one. After that, he sucked.
So he was one for what?
I don't know how many, but I know he threw at least
He
two.
wasn't one for nothing. Come on, man. You mean to tell me he can't? First of all, who was he playing with? Did he come in after Russ, or did he come in after Jackson Dart?
I think he came in after Jackson Dart.
Okay, so that means he didn't play to the third quarter of a blowout game. This was the game they blew somebody out, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And he doesn't call his own plays.
And so
you're saying they gave him a play and he's been in all these meetings, so he knows who the primary is. And he said, screw the primary, I'm going to throw it long. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is every pass that he actually threw after that seemed to be a long pass. It was like he was on that long pass vibe. When you call a play, I'm sure there's more than one receiver. You got a primary, secondary, whatever. And I believe some of those situations led to 3 and outs. So,
okay.
the first down didn't happen. And that's what I was kind of looking to see Jameis do some ball control, some game management, and I didn't see that.
Okay.
I believe Tommy would do that. He might do it more than you want him to, but he's been there. He knows the system. I just kind of felt like they could have gotten something for Jameis. And I don't know if Jameis is going to be the answer if Russell goes down. So they probably will go to Jackson Dart if Russell goes down, no doubt. So,
Well, I think Jackson Dart has earned that, first of all, and Jameis will eventually be number 3. But
you think Jackson Dart outplayed Jameis this preseason?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Without question. But I have to defend Jameis. Those plays were called for him for that time in the game, and they were trying to complete those passes. Now, whether they did or not, I don't remember because I had already cut the game off. But I know if he threw 6 passes, he didn't only complete 1. If he threw 10 passes, he wasn't 1 for 10. I'm sure. So it's not like he just went out there, put a blindfold on, and just started tossing it up. They called the game that way for him. They didn't ask him the game plan to manage the game. He did what they asked him to do.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. I thought it looked to me like he just got a little carried away with himself. So he's running on adrenaline.
I don't.
So, but one thing I said that has been corroborated is there's a whole video of Jameis plays, and the name of it is Jameis is the funniest quarterback in the NFL. So I said you guys had the most entertaining quarterback room. So more of that is happening right now. All right, Benny, that's all I got.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
As we always say, thanks for following. Please leave comments and suggestions. Our hashtag is football is life. All right. Thank you much.